Okay, so today's piece is some excerpts from George Ligeti's Nonsense Madrigals. This is a chamber voice piece. It's for six male voices. Uh, like the two movements I have are I simply have them because I received them for a survey course. I think we were talking about this in one lecture, and the score must have belonged to um, my teacher, or they took it out of the music library and scanned it for that lecture. Basically, I just have movements 1 and 3. So first one is called Two Dreams and Little Bat, uh, and I believe it has two different texts. Yeah, what are the texts at the bottom here? The Dream of a Girl Who Lived at Seven Oaks, and The Dream of a Boy Who Lived at Nine-Elms, both by William Brighty Rands, 1864. And then the other text is, the third text, I guess, is Twinkle Twinkle Little Bat, from Lewis Carroll, 1865. So probably from Alice in Wonderland. Then the text here is just the alphabet, right? Just the letters of the alphabet. Now, both of these are commissioned for the King's Singers with assistance from a grant from the Barlow Endowment for Music Composition at Brigham Young University and the Berlin Festival. So it's very complex singing because it's for a specific group commissioned for a new music festival of some kind. Let me find the texts so I can read them out. That way, once we listen to them all overlapping, we can make sense of it a little bit more. Seven sweet singing birds up in a tree, seven swift sailing ships white upon the sea, seven bright weathercocks shining in the sun, seven slim race horses ready for a run, seven gold butterflies flitting overhead, seven red roses blowing in a garden bed, seven white lilies with honeybees inside them, seven round rainbows with clouds to divide them, seven pretty little girls with sugar on their lips, seven witty little boys who everybody tips, seven nice fathers to call little maid joys, seven nice mothers to kiss the little boys. 7 nights running I dreamt it all plain, with bread and jam for supper I could dream it all again. 9 grenadiers with bayonets and their guns, 9 bakers' baskets with hot cross buns, 9 brown elephants standing in a row, 9 new velocipedes, good ones to go, 9 knickerbocker suits with buttons all complete, 9 pairs of skates with straps for the feet, 9 clever conjurers eating hot coals, 9 sturdy mountaineers leaping on their poles, 9 little drummer boys beating on their drums, 9 fat aldermen sitting on their thumbs, 9 new knockers to our front door, 9 new neighbors that I never saw before. 9 times running I dreamt it all plain. With bread and cheese for supper I could dream it all again. So obviously they're both counterpoints. Like they're both very similar poems. But the boy one definitely has some more like war inspired elements, some more like possibly traumatic things, especially like the dreaming of new neighbors and like people invading your space and stuff. The poet, better known as Matthew Brown, was a prominent English writer from the Victorian era, mostly remembered for his children's poetry. Uh, yeah, his poems have a focus on themes of childhood innocence. Yeah, he's been compared to Edward Lear and Lewis Carroll, who also have nonsense verse. What Yeah, so obviously Lewis Carroll wrote The Adventures of Alice in Wonderland, where I'm assuming this text is from. Yes, it's recited by the Mad Hatter in chapter 7. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder where you're at. Up above the world you fly, like a tea tray in the sky. So, yeah, those are the two poets and texts. Um, these two movements run pretty short altogether, maybe like 5 or 6 minutes. The text is, sorry, the instrumentation is like two countertenors, tenor, two baritones, bass. And I think that's the same in the other one. Yes. So, pretty difficult piece to put on. I don't think it's likely to be performed that often, but perhaps this group, the King Singers, performed it several times after it was commissioned. Link to a recording is in the video description. When I first was introduced to this piece, I really loved it. It really captured my imagination. So I hope that's a similar experience for you. And yeah, I'll see you all in 6 minutes. Okay, yeah, so this is a really great example of Ligeti's music. It's super accessible, and yeah, I understand why it was used in a classroom context. It's just a really good example of what his range of composing. You have like this really textural, slow piece, which is reminiscent of a Lux Eterna and his like 60s stuff. And then this really complicated, dense contrapuntal like first movement. Um, but they're both pretty yeah, simple. I like there's like some really great moments, right, that come to mind just rehearing it. I like how he structures the first one, where you have like sort of everyone, like it builds tension when you get to that part where both poems are talking about running, right? So it's like all these ideas are running through your head. Where's that moment? I dreamt running, It's so intense. And then you get this climax, I dreamt it all plain with bread and jam or whatever. And I think the sort of moment where it settles down is like I could dream it all again, which is kind of the last sentiment of both poems really, and kind of obvious when you think about the big decisions like having the girls' poem in the higher voices, the boys' poem in the three lower voices, just having them run at the same time. I think he does a really good job of just like capturing every image rhythmically, you know. He comes up with a rhythm that works. The Twinkle Twinkle Little Bat is just in the tenor. I guess it's like a cantus firmus for one moment here. And they just say Twinkle Twinkle Little Bat. They don't go any further into the poem. And it's yeah, it's sort of at this moment where the higher voices have to catch up with the lower ones. Like the lower ones have already got into the I dreamt running, but the top voices still need to convey these last two lines about seven nice fathers and seven nice mothers. And then yeah, the alphabet song is great. Great example of something Ligeti did like dozens of times in his music. This like cluster that spreads out. So I think this one was 1993, and then we're working backwards here. So the next piece should be 1980s, 1982. Yeah.